Hello. So, why do we make our bed? Jacob Faccirecci said he does not make his bed. Um, I will make my bed. Let's see. How about that? There's a bed. Do, 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 do. So this part is unnecessary, but this part. So, all right. So that's how I do it. It's not how, like, you ought to see these women. They will they will have like 1,000 pillows. Like when I crawl into a bed that's been made by some of these women, I I literally spend like 3 or 4 minutes taking pillows off the bed, and then when I have to make the bed, I have to figure out how to put all the pillows back. And what's funny is I'll do something like this to mess with these women. It's kind of funny. So this bed doesn't have as many pillows as some of them I've seen, but I like to mess with them. Right? You do something like that. So, so like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? So, sometimes people have this idea of like symmetry. Oh, my monitor went down. Okay. Um, People have an idea of symmetry, um, and it's very strange. So you saw how I made the bed, and I made the bed. The point of making the bed is that there are these vents, right? I'll point out. So these are vents, and then um, you can have, especially if you don't take care of your HVAC system and don't like replace your filters, you can end up with dust that comes out of vents. If you have animals in your house, you can have hair, and we are kind of like animals, so we have hair, and so it's nice to just cover it so that you have clean sheets. That's My wife likes clean sheets, so maybe if you want a woman in your bed, you should try to have clean sheets. Now, I got lucky because when I grew up, I washed my sheets and my bed like. So my mom died when I was 2, so I didn't have women, and then my dad went and stayed with my stepmom. Uh, Basically, when I was 16, 17 years old, I was living by myself, um, and 16, 17, 18 throughout high school. And he did it progressively, and he kind of checked in to make sure that we could handle it, and he paid for groceries and paid the bills. And he was like 5 miles down the road, and my brother couldn't handle it, and so my dad made my brother go live with him. Um, so, but I had a bed where I just didn't wash the sheets. Um, I would just sleep dirty in my bed, and so my bed would have like dirt, and it would have, a little bit of mildew back behind the bed. I didn't have any heating, HVAC, but I had like a window unit. Um, and when I would sleep, when it was cold, I had water that would freeze next to my bed. It's because I would just get under my sheets and I'd be warm. The water would freeze in the house, and then I would um, I'd get out of bed just and be really cold and go hop in the shower and get a hot shower to warm up. Shut the door so it got all steamy, create more mold. Um, but the point is, like, why did I put this hat on? Why did I put on any clothes for this recording? And I'm going to switch over to, boom, this. And this screen doesn't seem to be working. I wonder if I can, like, let's see. I guess it doesn't like me to have more than one camera from the same camera. That's crazy. So I can add my video back. Video capture. Video capture. There we go. And then I want this thing to go down in priority. Maybe not that far down. There we go. So if you look at this screen, and now it's like my computer starts messing up when I have two cameras. I'm just going to remove this other one. Yes. All right. I'm supposed to have a good graphics card. And anyways, so I go to this Meta Polytech and scroll down to my picture. So here's, like, why couldn't I dress up like this for a presidential debate? Like, why? Like, what does it matter? So, like, why do you make your bed a certain way? Why do you put your pillows on a certain way? You know, why am I wearing clothes right now? And why couldn't I dress up like that at a presidential debate? And this is one of my claims, is that, you know, if or when I start my campaign, if you donate money to my campaign, I will try my best to attend the debates dressed up like this. You know, they might want to be able to see my face, so I might have to, you know, expose my eyes or expose something just so they know it's me. But that's one of my claims, that if you give me money, and there'd have to be a target. Like, my target is to be able to get on every ballot, right? Because I'd be trying to spread the good news. That's the whole reason I would be running. It's not to win, because I don't think I could, but I would just be spreading the good news. But yeah, why couldn't I dress up like this? And so there's a lot of things that we do that it's just like, well, I don't understand the reasons why we do it. I don't understand, why do we need all these clean sheets? And maybe it's because there's some people who are allergic to mold, right? And then, you know, my brain just goes all over the place. Like, maybe it would be a good thing. Like, maybe I can select for women who are okay with mold. I don't know. Also, like, I went through periods of time where I would not wear deodorant. So then I was selecting for a woman who liked my smell. And then I went a long time without toothpaste, because I had a theory that you could just brush your teeth. And I heard this from someone else. And so I just brushed my teeth without toothpaste. Haven't had any cavities. I thought I had a cavity because there was a dark spot, but that was a cavity, and it wasn't even really a cavity. I had a bad dentist, and I could tell that story. But he had like grinded away at my tooth and then put amalgam in it. And so that amalgam is a discoloration. And I thought maybe it was a cavity. So I went back to the dentist and they checked it out. No cavities. So you don't need toothpaste, and you don't need deodorant. Faccirecci, he taught that you could use alcohol, rubbing alcohol, instead of deodorant if you want to get rid of that bacteria, which makes sense. Get it on your armpits if you want to kill that bacteria. It's that bacteria that stinks in your shoes, under your armpits, in your breath. It's all bacteria. So, but yeah, I don't understand. I put it this way: there's a lot of things we do which I don't understand why we do it, and it makes me strange. You know, so at the top of my post I say, being neurodivergent, I sometimes fail to communicate my thoughts clearly. And so my most recent post is effective altruism criticisms, and I updated it this morning. I had to update it because I started off by saying, basically, altruism is wrong, right? And that's I was listening to Paul Vanderklee. He was pointing at Jordan Peterson, John Vervaeke, and Jonathan Pageau, and he points at the end, you know, and points at the sentence where John Vervaeke's like pointing at the importance of the relationship. And so I could, there could be a funny joke. When you're with a woman, you don't just like just go for it. Whatever it is you want. There's a warm up. And the you got to get into the mood. It's called pace and lead in the persuasion knowledge area. Pace and lead. So I swapped this up to pace and lead, and I started off just by pointing at technology, transparency technology. And the thing is with my claims about technology is they apply for Paul VanderKlay's church. They apply for every community, every organization. There is a way to use technology to increase transparency for the purposes of doing learning and teaching together. And what I realized, and I put out a video, it's unlisted, I tagged Paul VanderKlay, and I'm not sure if these unlisted videos being tagged will get to the people that I tagged. I don't know. So, but yeah, one of the things that Paul talked about was, trying, like, targeting the audience, like who's your audience? And there's an audience, like 95% of humans can't handle this abstraction language that seems to exist in this little corner of the internet. Am I in it? I don't know. I wish I could be like tech support for this little corner, but this little corner just doesn't make enough money to pay me what I'm worth. And then it's like, how would this little corner even know if they should hire me, which is part of the problem. And that's my point. 5% of the 100%, 5% talk about abstractions. And if you're in software engineering, you can handle abstractions, or else you're just not a software engineer. But then among the people who can handle abstractions, there are software engineers. So they've actually learned how to organize abstractions in ways which can improve your system. Like your system can be your program, your software, it can be your computer, but it can also extend to the cloud providing your services. Like this is what I'm gaining more expertise in, is being able to, manage a cloud, right? Be a manager for a team of people managing a cloud. And cloud's just an abstraction, right? Like in that cloud is a lot of details. So among the 5% who can handle abstractions, you got another 5% who are software engineers, and among software engineers, they have limited amount of experience, and so you've got another 5% who can handle scalability problems, because I know that I was not able to handle scalability problems for quite a long time. And so in order to even, like, my community has to be able to handle abstractions, handle software engineering, and handle scalability within software engineering. Like, that's really my community. So it's a very small community. And I'd love to try to teach others at different levels how to arrive at some of the conclusions that I have regarding embedding our knowledge into our systems, with software engineering technologies, right? Engineering technologies, like tool making. And this is the message. Like, I can't seem to connect with anyone. Like, I'm such a, like, my expertise is so far away from the average human being that, and then among the people who share my expertise, like, how many of them actually care? Like, there are people who share my expertise who just care about other things, like enjoying yourself, playing. So you go and you work hard and then you play hard. That's what a lot of these really smart people who have the capacity and the skill set to be able to, transform our world faster and better over time. Like, those people, they stay busy. They make a lot of money. They have a valuable skill set. They work hard. They play hard, and And so even the people who would be able to talk to me, and I should say there's a lot of them smarter than I am, even those people aren't wanting to talk to me. Like I know some of them. I get my buddy Ivica Ristovsky. I think Ristovsky. Got to be careful with that. He's from Macedonia, and their last name, I think his wife would be a Ristovska, and he is a Ristovsky, and so there's you kind of want to get the gender right. And then so he's working with NASA. I think he's been on some calls with Elon Musk, with SpaceX, help developing interfaces for Dragon and the International Space Station. Like, this guy's smart, like very smart, smarter than me. Why doesn't he want to have a conversation with me? Well, maybe it might put your job at risk, right? Like, what if I take this video and I give it to my CEO and just hand it to him? That's a risk. There's a risk that I will be found out by my CEO and my CTO. And as I get to know people, I try to, expose them to who I really am. Like, I really am a person who goes to work and believes that through my interactions with people at work, I am helping to create peace on earth. Like, I'm doing a learning and teaching activity, and I'm trying to learn and teach. And that I want to be part of an organization that is growing and learning and teaching. And so I try to do that at work. And it's a reason I've left previous jobs. And it's the reason I love my job. So my buddy Vinny, Ivica Ristovsky, he might not want to go live talking about these things. And then I got my buddy Mohammed. He goes by Mode, and he started out learning. I think he started out learning English. Like, his education started by reading the Quran, and he's very smart. But he's not a Muslim, but he learned a lot about Islam, especially like when he was young. But he's more intelligent than I am. And when I say these people are more intelligent, this is the thing that makes me special. And then by talking about it, being neurodivergent, I think it'd be nice to understand what your strengths and weaknesses. But when you talk about your strengths, people might think you're bragging or you're being braggadocious or something. And so, like, the thing is with Vinny and Mode, right, is that they, if we were to go and just, you could take everything a human could possibly be able to do, everything, and then, and I'm not talking about just in the head space, I'm talking about athletics as well. If you were to take us and have us and test us, the question I have, which here's my claim, is that I would be better than them at a larger number of things. So I'm a generalist, but they would be, so that the quantity of things that I'm better than them at would be larger, but the capability of becoming the best at any one of those things, now I think they are better than me, right? Their brains are just doing things that my brain can't do. And so, and then my brain does things that their brain can't do. That would be my claim. I would say that specific. I've worked more with Mode, so like I worked with Mode every day, for over a year. I don't know, maybe 2 years. And when I say every day, I mean hours. All right. There's my fan.